Now, no disrespect to the men who only want to talk to women, but you can't really just sit there and talk to women about men and have them expect to tell you. Like, it sounds good. Like, it sounds fucking good how women say men should be acting. they're they're just removing the man part of it, because everything some of them be saying sound like they're looking for a woman, at least to me. That's my thoughts about it. But this is what happens when you, because the logic is right in front of your face. You're walking into it smack dab and then still walk around it like a fucking idiot. I don't know.
My name is Rafael Gomez. I'm the host of Women on Men, where I interview women about men and dating. And here's my opening statement.
Damn, right? Interview women about men and dating. When we already know women don't have good dating practices when it comes to men, because majority of women always say they pick a bad man. But okay.
Not here to fight men. I'm here to fight for them. Because the red pill is presented as medicine.
You just said a podcast with women on men. It don't sound like you had too many men in there. Sound like you just having women. But we'll talk about it.
But it's actually a poison, and peer-reviewed research proves it. Red pill and manosphere content preys on angry, rejected men and turns their pain into blame. It tells them women are the enemy.
I think you kind of missed the whole part when you said angry and rejected. You know, that really has a part to play with who's rejecting them. I don't know about the anger part, but I know if you feel rejected, somebody's doing it. But okay, maybe I'm reading too far into it, like I always say.
That dating is a war and they're losing. That feminism ruined everything. The very people they want to date become their adversaries. And it's easier to buy into that story than to look in.
Oh, so you're one of the believers that that guys be dating women for their status or whatever. Like how they said DDG is jealous of Hallie type shit. It's like you're one of those. You have to be, because that's what it sounds like you're saying.
But the science is clear. Studies consistently show that red pill communities promote hostile sexism, dehumanize women, and radicalize male pain into misogyny. And to top it off, it's not helping them date either. Men who endorse red pill beliefs report higher levels of loneliness, romantic dissatisfaction, and psychological distress. But the consequences are real and deadly. Just a short drive from this studio, Elliot Rodger murdered 6 people at UC Santa Barbara, and he became a martyr for red pill communities, a symbol of what happens when male pain festers into violence. For all the lectures about female nature and alpha
and it wouldn't have nothing with as growing up as a child being told to get over your emotions, or at least not being shown the right way. It had nothing to do with that, because if you start talking about that, you would understand that the mother raised the kid, but you know best.
dominance, red pill men aren't forming real relationships. They're staying single, bitter, and stuck. The more they consume this.
So how are they doing all the stuff you just said they're doing if they're staying single? Oh my fucking God. You see how the shit, you ain't even start talking to the other dude yet and you're already contradicting yourself. So they're going for the women or not going for women. What is it? Because now they're lonely and stuck. Ain't that what that should be a good thing. That should be a good thing. That shouldn't be a part of this. Like, would you want them to come out to play and act like you? You already just said they're angry and feel neglected. They would have to work on that beforehand. What is your point? I don't think it is a point. I think it's just a really, really fucking long introduction.
This content, the worse their life gets. Not because women changed, but because they did. In the end, it leaves them lonely, angry, and blaming everyone but the ideology that failed them. Just this week, Andrew called red pill creators degenerates for pushing casual sex, discouraging marriage, and obsessing over status. Yet here he is today, defending that same ecosystem. He also said that the divide between men and
you do know he's married, right? Because I'm pretty sure you're talking about him, and I've never heard him say nothing about casual sex. He's always said, if you're gonna do that, accept the consequences of it, which is like getting pregnant and all that. But his true standpoint was wait till you get married. I've heard him say that. But I just want y'all to know, right? Like, if we're looking at it, I could be absolutely wrong, but the dude in the green, he is a nerd. Like, if back in the day he would be considered a nerd, the way he looked, considered a nerd. Or maybe he was but considered a nerd. And this one above him, I'm pointing up, it's at the side. this one above him, what would you consider him? Because I don't think he is a nerd. I think he was one of those guys that like no dude they're cheerleading but still like girls. But that could be wrong. Because it's just weird. It's like, yo, how are you talking about this situation, telling him he married? I don't know where your person at, but he married with kids and his wife understands his thought process. You see her on here all the time talking to women, trying to get them to understand what may be right. If it is it completely right, no, because at the end of the day, you can't subject somebody for whatever you feel like their lifestyle should be. But that's what women do all the time. That's what you're doing right now by telling men to, oh, you should come and just do whatever they say type shit.
Women is a good thing because he believes women will cave first. Andrew wants to keep that division wide because it serves his personal crusade to eradicate feminism, even if it means sacrificing the well-being of the very men he claims to protect.
Well, I would beg to differ, but you do know feminists never help shit. All they do is help women. That's it. They don't care about men, nothing else but women shit. How is that right? You should have something that includes everybody because there's good groups of people in both.
Well, here's the thing. Don't courts adjust towards women even when they aren't married?
Do you know 1 in 3 children born out of wedlock don't see their father past the age of 3?
You didn't answer the question. You didn't answer the fuck. I swear to God, I be hating people like that. It's like, yo, don't come here and believe that your thought process is the only right one. Be subjective, be open, understand. Even if you don't believe them, I'm gonna shut up.
3? Did you know that?
Why?
You tell me.
I'm waiting.
No, you tell me.
Why do I need to tell you when I ask you a question? Why?
Because single motherhood is not just a female problem.
Okay, but why do they not have access
Because
to the
men
child?
tend to abandon children.
Can you demonstrate that?
I think I just did.
How?
No, what you did was explain that you see women saying that they abandoned them and failing to forget that some of these women are actually terrible to be around. Some guys, I could attest. My first baby mother, we don't have good communication skills, and it's not on my fault. My second baby mother, I have no problem with talking to her about anything else. So what if we left with, if I and that person can't get along and me and everybody else get along, he doesn't have good communication skills. And what if it's a lot of them and that's why it keeps happening this way? Not even to say that. And there's also other things to put in it like time, age, money, whole bunch of other things. But we don't get to talk about that because no, we're just supposed to accept all of that and stay.
33% of children don't see their father past age 3.
Yeah, but that doesn't prove that it's because the men don't want to.
Okay, how many men file for custody of the child in a...
You see how he keep moving the goalpost? You know, he's like, oh, I'm not going to win here. Find something else.
in child court?
I don't know the stats off the top of my head. We can look.
95% of them are filed without contest from the father, and the 4% that do typically do get it. So if 95% of men aren't fighting for the child, I think you can look at men for the problem.
Oh my God, you fucking idiot. Just because somebody goes to court and doesn't say they want to fight for 100% custody doesn't mean they're not fighting, bro. That doesn't mean they're not fighting. What if, right? What if they're just trying to get to see their kid, and the fastest way to do that is not to fight? What if that happens? Because that's normally a thing that can happen, unless I'm crazy. Because I've done it. Like, I went into the fucking courtroom and said over and over again, I don't care what you have to do. All I want to do is see my son. Every time they ask me a question, I don't care what you have to do. All I want to do is see my son. Oh, so you don't care about fit? I don't care what you have to do. All I want to do is see my son. Still ain't seen my son. So, matter of fact, I'm going to shut up because I am still just one person.
Problem.
Oh, I see. Okay, so let's back up. Tell me something. Who can actually have children, men or women?
Women.
Okay. Are these women being raped?
No.
Okay, so they have the responsibility of making sure that they don't get pregnant, right?
I think two people have the responsibility to make sure they don't get somebody pregnant as well.
But do you agree with me that it is the case that most men will sleep with most women, but most women won't sleep with most men?
So what?
So if that's the case, right, then women have greater access than men do, don't they?
Sure.
So if that's the case, why are they granting access to men who abandon their kids?
How do they know they're going to...
Great fucking question. Great fucking question. And here his retort. How they know they're going to abandon the kids? By their actions? By listening to them when they first said it, maybe? Because I'm pretty sure if you talk about having a kid with somebody and be like, not just yet, you shouldn't be going into it for no accident. So if somebody say, I don't mind kids, but I'm not ready for them, but if it happens, I take care of mine, that sounds something plausible. Even though you still can't believe that and or know it, but where does the person come in at making sure that this person is going to stay? You're just negating that whole point by just moving to something else.
And abandon their kids.
What? Well, yeah, that's so weird, though. Wait a second. Let's back up.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who have the sexual access, right? So if they don't know, why are they sleeping with these men? They're the ones who get pregnant, not the men.
And men are the ones that get them pregnant.
Yeah. So what?
They're a part of the equation.
So what?
That's a part of the equation.
Yeah, but women are the ones who get to access that.
And men are the ones that access it.
Okay. Can men have abortions?
No.
Can men force women to have abortions?
No.
Do you believe women should be able to have abortions?
Yes.
Well, if that's the case, right, that you believe women ought to be able to have abortions, men ought not to have any say on whether or not women have abortions, then women are the ones who ultimately have 100% access around reproduction, not men.
So men have no responsibility in your eyes?
How could they have a responsibility if they're not allowed to make the choice if the child's even here or not?
If you got somebody pregnant, would you abandon them?
Do I form a
That's the thing. You can't ask him that question without answering the fucking question, bro. Like, you can tell that you've been hanging around women. All these talking points that you're coming with is just women talking points. Legitly. It's like you're negating the fact of the choice, bro. It's like after he, let's say, slipped up. Now it's like, no, whatever she chooses to do is her choice. But you still got to live with it. But if she say no, ain't nothing. Okay?
secular worldview, or do I form a Christian one?
Do Christian people abandon their children? No, they don't. All Christians are perfect.
No. Under Christian ethics, you're not to abandon your children.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, so only secular people abandon their children.
No, that's not what I said. What did I just say?
Christian ethics bans you from.
Under Christian ethics,
Right.
you ought not do that. The same as they don't.
Should anyone do that?
Do I think so?
Yeah.
Under Christian ethics, no.
Even secular. Do you think people should, even if you're secular?
I don't think secular people should.
And
no.
I think secular people also don't think they should abandon.
I'll say what Andrew don't want to say. Said it earlier. Some of these women are terrible, bro. Some of them are terrible, bro. Do guys want to abandon them? I want to say majority of the time, no. And I want to say the only people who are abandoning women is young people, not grown men who already have kids. If it is a grown man who already have kids and taking care of kids, abandon them, he probably didn't want to. I'm not trying to justify it. He probably didn't want a kid with that person, and then they forced him to have a kid. At that point, what do? It's not right to do it. But if you didn't want to, and you're going to be like, 'cause you know how women are, I'm going to tell them that you didn't want them, this, that, and the third. Like, how are you supposed to deal with that type of woman? And they come in all shapes and sizes doing the same thing. It just sounds different.
And they're their children. So
Okay.
what's the point?
But they can kill them.
I don't think it's killing.
Oh, I know, right?
We're not gonna
So
have-
you don't think it's killing?
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's
Okay,
not.
got it. They kill them, but they think that they
It's
should.
not horrible framing. That's a
I
horrible
don't see
framing.
A great compelling reason here. The idea is that these women, they're getting knocked up. They're the ones who have complete and total access to who sleeps with them. They're not getting raped, and they have the choice as to whether or not they abort or not abort. Yeah.
But someone also was.
But does the man have a choice?
The man was.
Does the man have a
has
choice?
a choice to not impregnate a woman?
Now, what
yes.
if the man-
The man has a choice to not
Does the
impregnate
man
a
have
woman.
the choice
yes.
to keep the baby?
Not if the woman
Does the
doesn't
man
want
have
to.
the choice to make the woman pay him child support and keep the baby?
How much is the average child support?
Can you answer my
payment?
question?
No.
I just went.
How much?
No. Answer my fucking
said no.
question.
I just said no.
Okay. Let's back up.
How about you listen?
Yeah. Okay, let's back up. Well, I said, can you answer my question? And you said no. You can see how I could perceive that as you saying, I'm not going to answer your question, right?
Yes. No.
Even
To
the
your original
moderator thought
question.
that was the case. Okay, so let's back up. You do believe that it is the case that men can't force women to have their children.
Correct.
But women can force men to take care of their children.
That's correct.
Okay, how is that fair?
I'm not saying it's fair.
Okay, so then what is the so then if men didn't want to have that child, why should they be held to account, take care of it?
Because it's their child.
What?
Because it is their child.
I'm super confused, but they didn't have a say.
You know what he believed too? I'm pretty sure he believed that if it's not his child, they should take care of it anyway.
Doesn't matter. It's their child.
Should they be able to have a say?
I don't think so.
But you just said it's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair. So what? They had a child. That's their child. They should take care of it and not abandon it.
So, okay, so to get this right, then women should be able to kill men's children if they want, right?
Stop framing it as killing.
Or keep them if they want, and the man has to pay.
Use a grown ass fucking man trying to play word semantics with a grown ass fucking man. Shut the fuck up. Like, that shit is irking my last nerve that you're trying to question, tell another person how to fucking talk. That's probably why we be getting pissed off with dudes who be sitting there all on women's side, bro. Like, stop telling me how to talk. You don't like it? Don't accept it. Don't have the conversation, bro. It's like, what? Don't frame it like that. That's what it fucking is at the end of the day. You're ending a life that's not here. It's a fucking life through and through. Even if it's not here, it's still a fucking life. What are you talking about? Stop framing it like that. Open your fucking brain then.
A child support for the child.
That's correct.
Right?
That's correct.
And you think women should get to make that choice?
100%.
Why should we let women make that choice?
Because they're the ones that have to, conceive.
So, got it. So they're the ones who have to conceive.
Now, I know what y'all gonna say when I'm about to say this, and I'm not talking about that. But just check this out, right? Say the pops day. She had the kid for 9 months. I know y'all gonna say, oh no, she cooked, clean, take care of the kid, this, that, and the third. In all retrospect, for the next 18 years, the guy is fully taking care of the kid. Making sure food, clothes, all of that. Yes, she's using the stuff, putting it on him, using it, cleaning up. Yes, she's using all of that. But if she's not working and not bringing no money in, none of this could actually happen, right? We could agree that can't happen. And if that is the case, he is the one taking care of the family. She is just physically taking care of the family. Is it right and or wrong? I don't know. Not my place to say. I believe in 50-50, like with everything. You don't have, if you want me to pay everything, I would pay, because I already understand my 50 will never add up to yours. Already know that.
So they're the ones making the choice.
Yep.
So therefore it's their responsibility. Anything else?
No, because the father is also part of the responsibility.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who's making the choice?
They can have the child, but the father should take care of their child. Hey, you don't disagree with that, do you?
Wait.
Do you disagree with that or not? Do you disagree?
I second her answer.
You hear this shit, right? Like, you want your answer when you want your answer, but you can't answer him when he's asking you a question. But just like a woman.
Why not?
Because it makes no sense to me.
It makes total sense. If you have a child, you should take care of it.
Well, let's try this again. I just walked you through the logic, though.
Fuck the logic. I'm asking you,
What?
Do you think a...
You hear that, right? I don't care about logic right now. I want feelings. Just say you want to be a woman, bro. Like, I don't even want to sound rude, but unless you're just like a super simp. Like, if you were a super simp, I understand that. But I'm going to just continue listening to you.
Secular person should take care of the child that they have.
Does a Christian think that? Of course.
And you don't think secular people do?
Well, I can't see how secularists could justify it, no. Not if you're making the claim. So you made the claim.
From my worldview, if you have a child, you should take care of it,
Why?
period.
Why?
Because that's my worldview.
Okay. Why, though?
Because it's your child, you are part of it. I don't need to justify it for you.
Because when we walk around the logic...
So then why the fuck are you talking? If you came on somebody's podcast to have a conversation, and the person is trying to ask you to justify why you have this thought process, and you're telling him you don't need to have a justification for it, you should not be fucking talking at all. Because what the fuck is you trying to change people's thought process without an explanation? That's how you change their thought process, is showing them how this thing showed out. But yet you're willing to come on here. Y'all heard the whole spiel from the fucking start. All them words you got, and you tell them you don't have an explanation? Okay.
Here's what we end up with. You say women have complete and total access, should be able to kill a man's kid, right? Or should be able to bring it to bear and make sure that the man takes care of the kid, but the man can't tell the woman that she has to have the kid even when she's pregnant,
That's
right?
correct. And if there's a child in the world that man contributed to, he should take care of it.
Okay, so just to make sure that we got this right, it's an uneven standard for men versus women.
If that's the world we live in.
Yeah, so justify why it is that men shouldn't say, fuck that.
I don't need to.
Yeah, okay. Well, then, when you ask me, Andrew, don't you think X? And I say, well,
and
yeah.
You say I can't.
Yeah, I just see how it was like, it's been 6 minutes. That whole shit, word semantics, word gibberish, trash, just to negate a choice. That's all that was. It was a fucking choice. Just to negate the choice. He's negating the choice of only one side. He's saying the other person could choose whatever, but this person can't choose nothing. If you did that thing, lay down and sit with it.
When I say from a secular point of view, I actually can't answer the justification. Just remember that neither can you.
And I would say most secular people also believe you should take care of a child if you're the
from
one
the
that
Christian
had it.
ethical angle, of course you're supposed to take care of your children. But from the Christian ethical angle, it's also completely appropriate, right, to put significant pressure on women to not have abortions, meaning men get a say in the choice, right?
Well, what's wild to me is that you're complaining about single motherhood, and then you're sitting here saying, well, men should say fuck it, which is just wild. That men should say fuck it if they want to.
When did I say when?
No, see. And you see, that's why I know you be talking to women too much. You're missing the fucking point. It's the choice. I just said it. It's the fucking choice. That's what you're missing. Like, we all have choices. Yes, we lay down and made this thing, but you're telling me because you feel like I should be doing something, I have to do it? Like, yes, you can even say it's my fault that you got pregnant. But I would say if a person was and they pulled out and you give, like, you don't want to get into that part of the shit because then it starts misconstruing the whole fucking thing, bro. Just say it's okay for him to have the choice. Just this world doesn't allow men to have a choice. Cool, conversation done. But I guess it wouldn't be a conversation if he didn't go against it. Even though he's not really going against it because you ain't show us shit to defend your talking point. You just kept changing shit, kept asking different questions. Nothing you said justified anything, but his justifications was still there for making you look stupid.
You said so men should say fuck it, right?
I'm sorry. Do you know what an ought is versus a descriptor? Sure. What's an ought?
An ought is I don't know.
Did I say that secular men ought do that, or did I say I can't think of a justification?
You can't think of a justification.
And neither can you.
But you also don't think single motherhood is a good thing, correct?
That's correct.
So why don't you encourage men to take care of the children?
Should we force them to?
I think so.
Okay, so you think that we should force men to take care of the kids?
Correct. That's what child support is.
But no, that's not. Well, that is true that they take it by force, I guess.
Yeah, that's what you said.
But what I'm talking about force is like, should we make them participate as a father?
Yes.
We should force that.
And so, as long as the court rules that they should, yes.
No, that's different. I'm not asking about what the court rules. I'm asking, do you think we should force men to participate?
I think they should force at least child support, and if
No, that's not my question.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Should they force men to participate in being a father?
No.
Being a father, no.
No. Not if the father. If the father's going to be a shitty father, then no.
Can you explain to me how it is that if the woman can get child support from the guy, right, and you are not going to force any participation, aren't you pushing single motherhood?
No, you're blaming women for single motherhood.
Yeah.
And you're saying
they're the ones who have all the choice by your own admission.
But the fathers have no part to play in it. And single motherhood.
If the fathers can't make the determination as to whether or not they can even have the kid, and only the woman can, you hold an uneven playing field. I have at least a consistent view that women should not be allowed to abort, and men ought to actually be made to participate in their own children's life.
And he didn't even get that choice.
More submissive.
The topic of submission only comes up on Red Pill Podcast.
No, it doesn't only.
I would go into this further. I already had y'all here for too long. I don't even think y'all watched to the end. But women talk about the shit all the time, bro. You probably even talk about it on your podcast, Men on Women. Fucking idiot.